Happy Monday, everyone! It's your favorite non-mainstream reporter, Azure. Lovely weather, at least where I live. Lovely news for us Monster Hunter fans. And Night Rain is so close to release. It's time to rejoice. Yes, it is time to rejoice. Time to rejoice. Excuse me as I rejoice. Well, as you can see, I got back into Armored Core. I started. I downloaded the PlayStation 5 version, and yeah, got back into the arena. Good times, good times. Well, I decided like I was gonna make this video out of like just a daily habit of making videos, but also like to shout out all the people who like give me content. Like I get news from like various YouTubers and just like casually watch like YouTube channels. So I made this video more or less to talk about the unsung heroes of YouTube. I don't know if like the character limit in my like share factory will allow me to say that, so I just said the unsung heroes. Oh, and this guy, he's cool. He's really good. But yeah. Okay, so anyways, um yeah, we wouldn't be here if it weren't for them, the unsung heroes. uh, the restreamers, the critics, the regular people pointing out the madness. All that madness. The curse. First, I want to shout out Five Lotham. Like, I don't know how to say his name, so I'm just gonna, in either my description or like I'll just make a comment and just show everybody's names and then like do the hashtag thingy. Fratanga Plays and Nintending. These guys are tearing into Nintendo news, and I get most of my info for my videos from them. So give them a follow. I mean, subscribe. Just go watch them because it's like I'm not trying to say like I don't like Nintendo. You know what I mean? Like I always thought, like at least from PlayStation 2 era onwards, it was kind of a childish console, even though like the diehard fans would say otherwise. And like there are good games, like the Fire Emblem series, and you know its quality is pretty good. But like mostly I get my news from them. Like I just don't know anything about Nintendo side. So yeah, please watch them, follow them, whatever. Or just like if you want to like be informed, right? Just check them out, right? Right. So also next, I want to give thanks to all these streamers off YouTube. I never donate, but you never judge me. Like I'm serious. Like I don't know because if I'm cheap, but I just like I have this thing where I could donate to streamers, but then I could buy music. So it's like, which one do I want to help out? Like, yeah, playing video games and all that stuff is important, and maybe like I'll help out like a close friend of mine. But like overall, I like like to buy music. But like, anyways, Amatsu Ryu, Dear Gamer, Yui, Shape, Thrive, Uno Hunter, Jay Witty, Moose Torrent, Disabots, and Raging Gaming. Yeah, these guys, like from Monster Hunter to like Neo 2 for specifically Shape. Shape plays that a lot. Yeah, these guys and Thrive. Thrive plays pretty much everything that he wants to play. He's a cool dude. Elden Ring. Pretty much everybody plays Elden Ring. To be fair, though, everybody plays Elden Ring. But like give these guys a watch. And finally, the most important group of people. This is the reason I made this video. The most important group of people among all of them. At first, no, although at first I didn't think so, because These people who restream the greats, LTG and Darkside Phil, I thought that like, okay, they are they're just bullies at first. You know what I mean? Because I was just like ignorant to like who these people were. I don't know. You live in your own bubble. You play like a lot of video games. You're just mod and game, and you hear about like these characters and stuff, and you're just like, don't judge them too harshly. I always have a bad habit of seeing myself through like the worst of people. Like I always used to like empathize for LTG in the beginning because I didn't really know that much about him, and he was like close to my age, or at least like like the info about him being released, like he's like a year older than me, I think. So I used to like feel bad for him because it's like, okay, if he just stopped playing fighting games, his life would be like so much better. But then you realize he feeds off the negativity, so it's yeah. Yeah, they're the heroes, man. Like, why did I ever criticize them? Why did I ever, point the finger and say, stop? No, don't do that. Like, and now we're living in like the aftermath of these people who like get consoles for absolutely no other reason, like multiple consoles just for themselves, their family, and whoever. Mostly though, because they need it as a backup for like when their consoles break or get broken down, or God forbid somebody steals it from them. You know what I mean? Like it's like this ongoing thing where you realize that it was never really their fault, and yet everybody like called them the bad guy in the beginning. They're just like, okay, you're not helping, you're not like giving anything constructive help or anything. You're just like this slapstick entertainment that everybody enjoys, and you're just yucking it up watching this guy going through this like type of grief, this manic type of behavior. But you know what, I'm still gonna shout them out though. I still gotta give them the respect that they deserve, because in this world these are the unsung heroes, okay? The unsung heroes, such as the Mighty D. One time I saw this like edit from the Mighty D, and it was hilarious. It was like, I don't know what Phil said about like him taking money from his audience, but it was, and then it cut to him playing Mario, where if Mario for some reason has this power up where he jumps on top of like the coin box, and then like the box of coins just comes out for some reason. And he's just like jumping up and down on his couch going, oh, perfectly emulating Mario. And just like, it's a perfect symbology of like what these streamers have become. Like that's why I had to shout out all those actual streamers, because if we don't have like, a realistic, context on people who are good at, well, they're not necessarily like ultra pro gamers, but they're good enough to be like, okay, you confidently play this game enough times for you to be considered skilled, and therefore I can take your opinion at face value as not just like some guy in the garbage, right? So that's why I shouted them out, right? But like also you got Snort Hogan, Memology 101. What is it? I was watching them. Robust Urban Garlic. Oh, and for LTG, let's not forget LG, the best type of like people like their Samsung TVs. I'm rocking the LG TV, man. That LG all the way, man. Best washing machines, dryers. I'm serious about that though. I'm not try. I didn't mean to laugh. I'm just like I just find it funny that it's like they're so good that like best washing machines, best dryers, best TV, LG, man, and also the best one of the best guys who like styles on LTG, and also the Raider. His like intro with the AI thing is just, it's just classic. Like I don't just watch it for that, but it adds to like the experience. And plus the intro's tight, man. The intro's tight, and the list goes on though. The list goes on. Happy Monday, everybody. It's the unsung heroes. The people who bring grief to the people who bring grief, right? Who protects the weak from those who prey on the weak. Yeah. And I was watching, um, in greater detail, this like confession of Darkside Phil on Snort Hogan's video about how like he just wants people to just donate money for him to eat. And I'm like, wow, that is like the one of the best jobs there is, isn't it? Because you can take it two ways, right? Like he's probably like comfortable with it by now, so he can just like upfront ask for it and not feel jaded or slighted because it's like people have been disrespecting him from the jump. But also at the same time, maybe he just doesn't see it. He's like oblivious to it. So it's kind of like it's compelling to watch. Like it's actually, I hate to say this, like as bad as a like guy that as he is, like his complete and utter like absence from like this kind of like self accountability is like classic goodness that these restreamers they bring it up. I also tend to watch um, more Pegasus, Sensitive Society, Achido, and I specifically picked these three people because I think they're around the same age, like group. Like I don't know their exact age, but I'm just judging by like their mannerisms and their voice, right? So I tend to watch those three to like get up on news with like things surrounding Asmongold. Like oftentimes I'll just say Asmongold, right? Well, shout him out. Like I pretty much like everybody knows about this guy, and like obviously I don't know. I think he is pretty much a hero, so I don't think he fits the category of unsung hero if he's already a hero as like to begin with. So he's just out there. No offense, Asmon, but it's just like it's the unsung hero video, not the I have 300 million plus, no 4 million plus subscribers by now. Hero video. If we need more of that, yo, imagine if I became like the Alyssa Mercante version of Asmongold's fan, and Asmongold's probably face palming right now. No, don't worry, I'm just joking. That's dumb. That's like I'll kill for you. What the fuck? I wonder how Asmongold is dealing with that, Melissa Mercante shit, though. Because he's got all those, like, editors and people around him, and, like, yeah, he's having a fun laugh and joke at it, but it's like, there is a little bit of, like, like, I got something on me that, like, I can't wipe off. It's just, gotta take a shower. Gotta take a deep breath. Take a deep breath and forget about it, Asmon. I'm not saying that you do, but, like, is it legal? Is it legal in Texas? Speaking of unsung heroes, I think the most pardon me, everybody. I am just using my anti-asthma inhaler. Gotta avoid that asthma. Yeah. Speaking of unsung heroes, the whole time I couldn't see. I was blind. I was blind from my jealousy. Yes, jealousy. Yes, jealousy did blind me. Jealousy and the rage from that jealousy. Jealous rage. The envious rage of jealousy of the Bugattis, the sunglasses, the unbuttoned shirts with your chest hairs glistening in the wind. Yeah, man. The biggest unsung hero of them all, Andrew Tate. Why is he a hero? I'll tell you why. Sometimes to be a hero, you have to be a villain. You have to be a bad guy. You have to descend into the darkest depths, the deepest reaches that cannot be gotten to by societies. It's hidden. It's masked by the darkness, by the curse. And you see Andrew Tate, he went into the belly of the beast. And he came out a changed man. I know he's a changed man. You want to know how I know he's a changed man? Because he sees what I see. He sees a world of weak politicians. Trump is doing right by his people. But is Carney? Of course not. Of course not. But it's not his business. It's not, you Canadian cucks, that's what you voted for. But that, I know deep down inside, Andrew. You care about Canada. At least the one gender in Canada. One specific gender in Canada. Everybody else could go fuck themselves. Yo, refugee status. You run for your president, prime minister of UK. So that's why I'm saying, yo, he's the greatest unsung hero, dude. If he ran for the prime minister of UK and he won, oh, the salvation, right? Our unsung hero. We didn't even see him coming. We all hated him. I hated him. Jealous of his Bugatti. Complete. Oh, I need that in my life. Therefore, I am not a man. I am not as much of a man as Andrew Tate for his Bugatti having ways. And therefore, I must admit defeat at the hands of Andrew Tate. He even left a finger. See, he was fighting all those guys, and he was fighting me at the same time. And he just like, did like a roundhouse attack. Just like LTG when he does that super combo, except Andrew doesn't need you to like deplete your like life bar. Your life gauge doesn't have to be in the red for him to do his fatality move. He could just do it at will, at full health. It's like a raging demon. He doesn't need like any power for it. It's just like his thing he does. The Cobra Tate attack. And I'm saying like you got to give Andrew Tate a chance. He can cut through the corruption. He can find the path for the UK. United Kingdom is finding out so hard what it means to have like this old, cancerous, seething group of old men just controlling all the resources and land, having all the say in the parliament. While the citizens are at the mercy of police forces embellished by those very courts. It's kind of like, controlled anarchy, if you will. Like, because if you can have places in the United Kingdom that have laws, and then certain other places that don't, then what else is that, right? Like, you can argue, oh, that's ghetto life, that's this, that's that. No, that's just to protect people from the outsiders. It's like, stay the fuck out of there, you fucking idiot. You're gonna heat out the score, you know what I mean? Like, that's mostly why they keep people out. Once you understand that, distinction, they're not keeping you out because they hate you rawly. Like, maybe some of them do. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, like, a business thing. And you understand that people aren't, like, these, like, animals, like, willing to snap at you. Like, oh, you broke into my territory? Rawr! Oh, no. It's more nuanced than that. And, like, I find that, these unsung heroes, like Andrew Tate, like these restreamers, like these streamers, like these people that I watch on YouTube, you see, what they all have in common? They all are part of my life. You see, like, I changed my ways for Andrew Tate to, like, be less corrupt, I'm gonna hunt down those, like, grooming gang suspects, those pedophiles. I'm gonna expose them. I'm gonna air out the laundry, man. It's in the honor of the great Andrew Tate. I shall not rest. I shall not hesitate. I shall not hesitate at all. In fact, I shall partake. And I know. I know there's gonna be people out there. It's like, hey, I bet you stood for something, man. You teaming up with the Andrew Tate. What hope does the UK have, other than him? And I'm being serious about that. Yo, you take him and Conor McGregor, and as far-fetched as it sounds, like, I'm pretty sure if, they're as well-meaning as they, politicians, none of them can be trusted. But these guys, like, they're fighters. Like, I think they want the money and they want to change shit. So, cool, fine. Give them a chance. Okay? Conor McGregor, Andrew Tate, for the UK, for Ireland. Like, I'm not so much for this anti-immigrant sentiment, believe it or not, but I am for the safety of their people. Like, this is a concern that they are voicing and no one's listening to. And, here in Canada, it's like, nobody even wants to talk about it. No one wants to acknowledge it. It's just like, okay, have fun buying a house. Have fun, going out at night. Have fun, It was pretty much like anything that you used to consider safe, like you have to like really think twice about. And that's unfortunate, at least for some people, in some settings. Maybe I'm being, over cautious and paranoid, you know. Maybe I'm being racist. It's like, oh no, I'm vilifying the country that I live in, even though, like, basically, I'm just saying as it is. And that's why Andrew Tate can actually, make a difference in the UK, because you're not going to be getting it from the other parties. I'm sorry, man. Nigel Farage, I used to think he was a cool guy, and then he goes out on a limb and he calls, while he's in prison, he calls Tommy Robinson a racist against Muslim. And Tommy Robinson has to go out of his way all the time to say, I'm not a racist. Hey guys, I'm not a racist. Stop calling me a racist. And he's in jail. They're like starving him out, all this stuff, like abusing him. And he has the nerve to say that. That's why I can never respect Nigel Farage, man. Because it's like, there's one thing to like not like a guy. It's another thing to say something about him, and he's in jail already. He has no chance to defend himself, and he's just like, getting, accosted and possibly assaulted, allegedly assaulted by, like, individuals. All right, who are critics of his rhetoric. And I know from personal experience that there are people who will go to great lengths to see, you know that man's silence. And I can admit that, sometimes I'm wrong and I'm overzealous with my, like, judgments and my, hatreds and misbeliefs, disbeliefs. But, Andrew Tate is the man, dude. He's the only man for the UK. As unfortunate as it is, he's the ultimate criminal, like, playboy, James Bond-esque politician that can win. Like, and him besides Conor McGregor and then Donald Trump will be the greatest picture ever. Like, the greatest presidential, like, walks of all time. 3 presidents, like, all uniting their countries against, like, the corruption of, like, putting their citizens in, like, a chokehold of their own governments and their push for, excuse me, just to surrender their rights, basically, for the idea that, the needs of the few outweigh the needs of the many, because the needs of the many will become the few in the future. I think that's, like, their end game, though. Not so much that they care that they're right or wrong. They just think that, okay, well, you're not having kids. You're not going to be, important in 1 or 2 lifetimes. And they see it as, like, a great replacement. A way of just pushing you into the past. And that's why it's always important to acknowledge the unsung heroes, the heroes of our lives. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a nice day. And don't forget about the heroes.